Hello everyone, I hope that you guys are all fine and safe and you guys are doing well. So I'm here to explain the parts of your advocacy campaign plan, which is your final requirement in purposive communication. Remember that your advocacy pitch is just a pitch, meaning it's just a proposal. And if it is approved, especially your thesis statement and your topic or your issue, then you can work on your final paper already. Okay, and this is the outline of your final paper, and I'm going to discuss these one by one, so you could understand more what I expect of you when it comes to these parts. Okay, so the first one would be the title of your paper. Of course, you think of a title that could handle the entirety of the paper, so what your paper is about, and a title that sounds so interesting at the same time compelling, and which encapsulates your uh, idea in the paper or the advocacy itself. Okay, and I want you to think of an organization name, so something that could identify you and your members as the advocates of your particular causes. Okay, and then if you have an acronym, then just come up with an acronym for it, and then the slogan or your one liner, or like something that is of a punchline, or the tagline of your organization. Of course, this would be all based on the cause or the advocacy that you are working on. Okay, and of course, the thesis statement, like put it here, the thesis statement always serves as the core message of your advocacy or of any paper, for that matter. Okay, and so here we have 7 parts, okay, in your final paper. So let's uh, have the first part, which is the situational analysis. Okay, majority of the things that you can put here will be coming from your proposal or your pitch, so you can incorporate the things that you put there, put it in your final paper, revise it if you want, polish it if you want, add to it if you want. Okay, so you're not limited by the things that you submitted beforehand, because again, that's just the drafting stage and the proposal stage, and you can do so much more in the paper itself. Okay, so you could add to this, or to the one that you submitted before. Okay, first you identify your problem. You already know that, the history and the background. A lot of you have already done this in the situational analysis for the beach. And then sectors of society that are affected by the problem. This is particularly your beneficiaries. Okay, so the beneficiaries of the advocacy, because the ones who are affected by the problem would be the ones that are benefiting from your advocacy if you advocate for the address or the solution for that particular problem. So this one, there's not going to be so much problem because we've already checked your situational analysis back in the page. Okay, so for the rationale, okay, this one, remember that you've already formulated your objectives. Some of your objectives have been approved, some of them really need to be repolished. So I'd like you guys to uh, organize your objectives this way. All right, so you have a general goal. So the general goal is the overall goal of the advocacy. Of course, this is going to be based on the core message or the thesis statement. So what is the advocacy for? You can say that this advocacy in general goals for, advocate for blah blah blah, right? Now under that goal, okay, under that goal you have specific objectives. You have to have 4. Okay, these are not options, these are required in order, right? Again, you have to do these objectives in order. So first, informational objective or objectives, motivational, then behavioral, then institutional. Why did I put it in this order? Because this is also the order of effect, or the order of gravity in which you could work on your objectives. Okay, first you would want to inform people that your advocacy exists, okay, or that this particular cause or this particular problem in the first place exists, right? So the informational objective would be more of spreading awareness or promoting awareness that a particular problem exists, or that a particular program exists, and you want people to be aware of it, or you want people to support it. So it would sound like this, okay? to promote awareness. So let's say that your issue is, about uh, internet, netiquette, for example, netiquette, or the crimes, the cyber crimes, for example. Okay, so for the informational objectives, you could say to inform people or to spread awareness about different cyber crimes that one can commit intentionally or unintentionally. Okay, so that is on the level of informational objective, because you're just trying to promote awareness that these cyber crimes exist in the first place. Okay, and that you could commit it whether intentional or unintentional. Okay, now let's go to motivational objective. From informing people, the second stage of the objective would be to motivate them or to persuade them to help address that issue or that problem, or to help provide a solution for it, or to at least motivate them to do something about it. Okay, so motivate them. So for example, it would sound like to motivate people to be more vigilant in terms of cyber crimes, or to persuade people to avoid or refrain from committing cyberbullying, etc., etc. Okay, so that's motivational. And then for behavioral, this now is what we call actuational level. So in the actuational level, what you do here, or the objective here, is aimed at you taking action about the problem already. Okay, so if you've got if you have already informed them that this particular um, problem happens or exists, or this particular program exists, now you would want to motivate them to support the program, or to address the problem, or to not contribute about the problem. Now the behavioral, what particular concrete actions or behaviors are now going to do. So for example, on your part as the advocates, you can say to launch webinars about cyberbullying and how to not do it. Okay, or to urge people to take action on the fight against cyberbullying. So for example, like that. Okay, so now that you have already informed, you have motivated them, and you have taken concrete actions towards the general goal, the last objective that you are about to write would be institutional, and this one is going to be on the level of partnership with some institutions. That's why it's institutional. Okay, some institutions that might help you achieve your general goal. So for example, you can say to tie up with the NBI cybercrime division, or to partner up with organizations that promote cyber crime awareness, or that fight cyber crimes, etc., etc. All right, so your target audiences are divided into three. You have primary audience, you have supporters, and then you have opponents. For the primary audience, this would be the ones that you really target. That's why it's called primary. Okay, so this would be the very people that you would want to take action about that certain cause, or you want to move to action in order to achieve your goal in the advocacy. Okay, so your supporters are the people who may be secondary audience, and they may be the ones who can support you achieve the objectives of your goal or of your advocacy. So supporters are not particularly the ones that you are targeting, but they may be the ones at the sidelines that could um, help catalyze your advocacy and help level up your advocacy and help them, and help you in spreading the cause. They share the same cause. They may be as passionate as you are in that cause. That's why they are your supporters. Okay. And then, of course, in every advocacy, there are opponents. So opponents are the ones that may be conflicting in terms of, they are the ones that may be having conflicting views regarding your advocacy, or maybe contradictory beliefs regarding your advocacy. So let's say you are advocating for the environment, and then supporters are, of course, the environmentalists or the organizations that protect and that aim to protect the environment, while opponents, let's say, you can have the mining companies as opponents or opposing forces because, of course, they want to protect their business. And when you try to hamper that and advocate for the protection of the environment through uh, inhibiting mining, for example, then that could be very conflicting in terms of their motives, right? Okay, so each of the audience would be described uh, depending on demographics and psychographics. Okay, when we say demographics, these are the statistical information about your audience. So, for example, age, um, income, gender, all right, so those are demographics, while psychographics would be more of the subjective part, like the values, attitudes, and judgment of that particular audience. You can also have here communication behavior of the audience, all right? So again, this would be more of the factual ones, statistical ones, and this would be more of the subjective ones, or about their intrinsic characteristics, values, attitudes, fears, something like that. Okay? Now let's move on to the fourth part of your outline or the paper itself. So you have now the strategies and tactics. By the way, this will all depend on your rationale or general goal. That's why you have to have very clear objectives so that you can set very efficient and compelling strategies and tactics for you to in the first place achieve your objectives. Okay, these all start with very clear goal or aim in mind so that you'll be guided. All right, so once you've set that up, then you have to think of two events. So event one, which is online, and event two, which is offline. All right, and each of the event would have these parts. So title of the event, objectives of the event, description of the beneficiaries, possible schedules, venues, platform, sponsorship, okay, and then detailed event requirements. So this might be the actual things that you might need. And then you got target amount for donation, target celebrity endorsers, okay. But of course, please write the rationale for each celebrity endorsers, actual program activities, and then promotional plan. For the promotional plan, you may write here how would you be able to disseminate the information, how would you able to promote the event, how are you able to get some audience or traffic or whatnot. Okay, so again, one online and one offline activity or event. Remember, guys, you are not going to actualize this. You're not going to really organize these events. Okay, remember that this is just a campaign plan. So meaning all these would just be on the level of planning. However, you have to really be very clear about the plan so that when someone does it, okay, it will be smooth and it would really be feasible. Remember that you have to plan feasibly. Okay, something that could really be actualized in the future, or maybe in the future when you're already some personality or some person who could really make this happen, then why not? Okay, that's why I ask you to work on something that you're really passionate about so that you really have this zeal to actually promote this or like make this possible or realize this in the future. Okay, again, this is a campaign plan. No need to worry if you're really going to look for those sponsors or look for or get those donations or talk to that celebrity endorser. Okay, there's no need for you to do that. All you need to do is to plan and plan with the rationale in mind. And then for the fifth one, you have the advocacy campaign table. or timetable. So for the advocacy campaign timetable, all you have to do here is a table that would lay down your plans, like what are you gonna do this December, January, February, when is your target date for the launching of the event, etc., etc. So the timetable is just really like a timetable of the entire plan and how you are about to do the plan. Okay, so for the collaterals, these are the information, education, communication materials, or the IECs. Now you can actually put here like the materials that you're gonna do for the entire advocacy campaign. So if you want to promote your events for with an infographic or a poster or a flyer, then you can design ones and put samples in here, perhaps thumbnail, for example, or just explain why and how will you use those things or materials and how it would really help you do the campaign thing. And then for the linkages, that's the last part. These would be the organizations you're going to tie up with, the institutions that you want to partner up with, or the other organizations that could help you out and that you want to reach out or that you want to tap, okay, in terms of your advocacy campaign plan. All right, so those are the parts of your advocacy campaign plan. I hope this is clear, and if there's something that you would like to ask, like, please ask them. And the best part is that I made your life so much easier because I already formatted an APA, a 7th edition APA paper, and all you have to do is to edit this and put in your content. Okay, so this one title of your paper, again, you just have to edit this, guys. No need to change any format, just edit this because this is an APA already, an APA formatted paper already. Okay, so title of the paper, remember in the running head, if your title is too long, then do not put the entire title here. All we do is put the first 2, 3, 4 words. Just don't go beyond 20 or 25 characters, okay, in the running head. So the complete title here, member's name, right? Again, your section, and then the date of your submission. And then I'd like you to have, instead of an abstract, some sort of like an organizational background. So this is your about us, okay? So you just type it out here and then read what's in here, then put some keywords, like perhaps the keywords of the advocacy that you're working on. Okay, so you just have to edit this, guys. No need to change anything about the format. Okay, then you start with the title of your paper, your introduction, and then if you will notice, all the headings here would be the outline parts. Okay, so situational analysis, like you have here your paragraphs. Okay, so you just edit this and put in your content. Okay, now don't be limited with the number of paragraphs that I put here. These are just for the sake of formatting. So if you want to have more than 3 paragraphs, then go ahead. Just make sure that you are also observing coherence and cohesion, for that matter. Okay, rational, this is how you do it. Okay, so you just edit this out, guys. You just have to edit this out. Right, so again, you've got to have your target audience, blah blah blah. Okay, so basically that's it. Don't change any formatting, okay, because I've already formatted it for you. Right, all you need to do is to put in your content. That's it, so that you don't have to worry about the format. Okay, now you have here, please put some sort of a conclusion in here. And then your references, remember the one-to-one correspondence. If you cited something in text, then make sure that it's all here in the reference list. Same thing, all that appears in the reference list should have been cited in text. And of course, this is the the link that I always give you. So that's it for the page limit. This already is a 9-page paper, but this is just the skeleton, so you can go 20 or 25. So siguro I will just give 30 as the maximum, but you don't need to reach 30. Okay, so that's just the maximum, including all the pages, like the references, the title pages. Okay, 30 as the maximum. Alright, so just download this. This is an editable file that I uploaded to your module. So just grab this and edit. Okay, so yeah, that's it.